Good morning. Welcome to Awaken. I'm Rev Wendy Silvers, and it is my joy and honor to be with you this morning. And this morning's topic is joy. So, we just emerged out of this holiday season, and oftentimes, what I've been told by clients, and I've had my own experience with this for sure, is that the holidays are not always this phenomenal time. It can bring up a lot of feelings for people. They can have mixed emotions. They sometimes going back and being with family of origin can be described as going back to the scene of the crime, and that's an exaggeration. And there can be a lot of pressure for this Norman Rockwell, for those that remember Norman Rockwell, but for this perfect family. You're supposed to have a perfect family and all joy, all good. And what if you're going through a season where perhaps you're unable to buy presents for your loved ones, or you've just gone through a breakup, or you haven't been with the person that is your heart's desire, and or you're with family, or you're going through a health. You get what I'm saying, right? You've just been going through something, and you haven't had the same thing. That emphasis on this perfect family can be a lot of pressure. And then conversely, you can have all of that. You can be with the person that you've always wanted to be with and have been with. You can be with family that you love. You have the abundance to give to causes and people that you want to. And you're having a phenomenal season. You're traveling or you're hosting parties. So in the soup of living, in the traffic of living, the coming and going of living, how do you find your joy? In the moments when I have been the most heartbroken open, because I don't believe that people are broken. I believe they may be broken open by circumstances and experiences. Where do you go to find your joy? You can have joy even in the midst of sorrow. Completing what I started to say is in the midst of my most broken open moments, there has been a sensitivity and awareness of beauty in a way that I haven't ever experienced it. When I've moved through breakups, when I have had people that I've loved move to the invisible side of life, and my heart's been broken open. I've also been so sensitive and tender and so aware of the beauty of life. So that the message and the invitation for you today is, where is your joy? Where do you go for your joy? I want to hear what you do. I want to invite you to set an intention. We spoke yesterday about intention and the power of intention to direct your thoughts, the energy that you are moving around the world with, your relationships. Where and how are you moving through your life with joy? In this series, Awaken, there was an attendee, there is an attendee, who, when I spoke about joy before, felt like it was pressure. For some reason, they interpreted what I was suggesting about finding joy as pressure. Now, if you've come from, and I understood that, because if you come from, let's say, a family where there was a lot of trauma, and you weren't somebody who chose fun as an escape, you were somebody that maybe absorbed a lot of it. And so you came out of childhood with a sense of seriousness and over responsibility. Having fun can feel joy, can feel like a fantasy. It can feel like pressure. Do you feel that way? Have you felt that way? I know that I loved one of my biggest joys is dancing. I love music and movement. I studied dance and I danced and I was a figure skater and a gymnast. Movement was very much and is very much a part of my being. For anyone who knows me well, if you've been with me, you see I'm always moving. And so where do you go for your joy? Do you think you're too old for joy? Do you think it's left you? Have you been through a season in your life where reaching for joy feels impossible? I want to be that human reminder, that little whisper in your ear that it's never too late to have joy. And even in the midst of what may seem like a heart-breaking open season, you can access joy. Happiness is wonderful, wonderful. And it's oftentimes contingent upon an outside thing, an outside event, an outside person. Happiness, I'm happy. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you mad? Are you glad? Emotions, as I've mentioned, energy and motion, right? Mad, sad, glad. So joy is an eternal quality of the divine presence. You can feel joy from reading a book, from putting on your favorite music. You can't say you can't access music today. You've got Spotify, you've got YouTube, you've got CDs. If you have CDs, you can stream. You've got it covered, right? You've got music covered. What will bring you joy? I want you to make a list of 10 things that bring you joy without editing. Oh, I can't do that. I can do that. Perhaps it's hiking, getting outside and hiking. Just being in nature is so healing. And you'll receive so much fortification inside. You're inside, you're out. You're outside with the elements, with nature, with the beauty. You're seeing the beauty of this divine presence, of this magnificent world that we live in, so that it recharges you and restores you, and you can go back into whatever it is that you're doing in your life, whether it's the boardroom or this, you're an entrepreneur or you're an executive or you're a homemaker, whatever it is. One thing I teach parents is that when you are home, and this is typically mothers, but when you're home with your children and things are really, really gnarly, crazy, an emotional state change is getting outside. Pick up your kid, go outside, go to the park. The energy in the air and that being in relatively fresh air, you will have a state change. So this applies for whether you have children or for your inner children. Get outside, get on the ground, move your body, and you will find that there is an emotional state change. There's a great book you may have heard about David Hawkins, Dr. Hawkins. He's an MD and a PhD, and he discovered this kinesthetic scale of what is the highest frequency. As I've said to you, we live in a multiverse that is energetic. We are energetic beings. So this book, Transcending the Levels of Consciousness, is a great book to understand. I know there's energetic upgrades in terms of what holds energy and the evolution of consciousness, the evolution of your consciousness. So if you feel like diving into this and just seeing on the scale of emotions and thoughts, you can see there is a higher scale and there's something that's lower. So you get to not only be with your own being and determine and discover what speaks to you, but you get to read this to support you as you go through this year. And as I teach in Awaken and my other courses, things build upon each other. But what's really important is to have a foundation from which you go forward. It's the springboard from which you go forward. You can call it a springboard, you can call it a runway. But if you truly want your life this next year, you want to thrive in 2025, you want to have a foundation from which to leap from. And the greatest, strongest, most enduring springboard is that which you amplify from inside by having a morning breath. You can restart your day at any time during the day. And you know how, if you listen to podcasts or read books or your own personal experience, do you know what is always recommended? How you restart your day? Give you a second. Write what you think it is. Yes, it's by getting still, slowing down to go fast. You get still. You stop. You listen to the inner world. You open your heart, you open your mind, you pause, right? So you can hear the inner broadcast, not the internet, but the internet. You access the internet of wisdom that's being broadcast. It's an acronym I created years ago in parenting. SLOW. You stop and get still. You listen. You open yourself up to the internet of wisdom. And then you return to your day. So, how do you access joy? You slow down. You listen. What's inside of you? What is that message that says, go dance, take a walk, read a book, listen to music, hug your children, write a letter of appreciation to someone you care about. Be still and know that even in the midst of what might feel like heartbreak, in that place, there is beauty. And in the midst of great joy and accomplishment, when you just pause and allow it in, you can feel the inner joy. I wish you joy today. I wish you joy every day. I believe in my heart of hearts that if more people access joy, the incidence of violence and even depression would be dialed down dramatically. So I am not telling you have to feel joy. I'm inviting you to find joy. I look forward to being with you. I'm going to jump off and lead the meditation. There's a way to contact me if you wish to contact me. You can like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you at the next Awaken. Peace and richest blessings, my friends.